Then I had to go with my notes. What was this? Yeah. Ours
I saw Right, time for the Cameron James On regular town council meeting. And so we'll have our opening exercises.
I got passed and did excellent.
Yes. Should I ask her? Let's our head, mighty God, send down upon us the wisdom and grace so that we may follow your will in all things and help us be mindful for all people, especially people James Island and certain. Okay, so let's pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And first thing on the agenda is our public hearing regarding the budget. And so I'm calling that public hearing open. And I have Brandon Fish signed up to speak about the budget.
Oh, no, not about budget. Just want to invite you all to give a flyer on your desk. You are able to show us commemoration for the Holocaust over here, but we have a proclamation later.
And then I have Eileen.
Yeah, I think we signed the wrong sheet. Because we're here on behalf of the Jewish Federation.
You're welcome to speak about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, well, so I see that there's no one here to speak about the budget, so I'll call the public hearing for the budget for my close. Now we'll go to our regular public comments, and so Brandon, I guess you already gave us one. Is that good? Eileen and Phyllis, did you? And so we'll go to people who signed up for public comments. Then we have Brian, Lincoln. Yes.
You want me to stand up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So my name is Ryan Lincoln. I live at 649 Clearview Drive in the Clearview neighborhood. And we've been emailing a little bit with Cynthia, but I know it's on the agenda to speak on this later on or have a discussion among yourselves later on, but we've had some increasing speeding and safety concerns within the Clearview neighborhood. There's not a lot of new families in that neighborhood. I am one of those. We moved in last summer and live kind of right at 10 in Clearview, which is kind of what I would call the inner core of the neighborhood. And I know there was a study some years ago which some speed bumps were put in, but not a lot of activity in Tennant and Clearview, which is where a lot of us live. And so I've gotten to know a lot of the new neighbors with families, a lot of the old neighbors that were part of that process, and that public hearing process. Many of which thought a lot more was going to be done and are also very interested to see more things done in the neighborhood and more things looked at. But yeah, I mean, we just have general safety concerns. I mean, I've learned that Clearview to Tennant is the longest loop without any traffic control in all of James Island, is what I've been told, over 2 miles. And we'd love to see like what, Harbor Woods did with always stops everywhere and speed bumps and to really slow the traffic. We have some problem speeders in the neighborhood, people that live within the neighborhood that we've worked with police and reported. They've done some surveillance and whatnot, but these folks continue to rip in and out. It's people that live in back areas in the neighborhood and just don't really have a concern or regard for others in that regard. And police have even gone and spoken with them personally. So we haven't seen change, and that's been, frustrating. And I know I've only been here about 9-10 months or something like that, but I've seen some really close calls. Even just yesterday, I saw almost 2 cars collide on Clearview that were tracking very quickly. We don't have sidewalks or anything like that. I've watched people with dogs have to jump out of the way to the people's yards and everything. So, oh, okay. Well, I don't want to go into too much detail. That's about the gist of it. So.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So next we have Jim Boyd. Boyd.
So he's gonna make mine a lot easier, right? So same concern. 3 doors down from him, same issues. So a couple of things, it has gotten a little bit better since the police have started making a presence there, and unmarked vehicles. So what I do for a living, I work for Motorola, right? I actually have true license plate recognition cameras running on the street, capturing speed. The week before, the average speed on the 25-mile road, 10th Street, was 46.9 miles an hour, average. I'm 5 houses in, but hit one of the road. When the mysterious speed bump went in, the town of James Island moved, average speed went down to 23.4 for the 16 hours it was up. 16, 18. 2 weeks after, which was last week, average speed is back up to 36.4 miles an hour again. Still 25 miles an hour. There are 20 kids that live from my house to Clearview. All 10 or under. Second thing was, I didn't really appreciate the town of James Island's public service department coming on my property, removing the stuff that was just somebody put speed bump down, signs, everything, but they came on my property, removed said things, and in the midterm, let everybody else drive through my yard to get around them while they were doing it. Looked it up today. For South Carolina State Code 45-5, document 4969, effective May 28th, 2021. You guys have to give me notice. I'm not gonna read it specifically, but that way so I can actually determine how people come through my property and when. That was not done. But obviously something has to be finished. Something has to be done. Something has to be done about this quickly. I'll get myself too often. This is my children I'm talking about. They've almost hit me 6 times, my wife 12 times, my kids 24 times. It's getting ridiculous. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Cheryl Ryan Sheriff.
We would like to reiterate the same issues.
Russell.
That's-
Thank you very
that's all I
much.
got. Thank you.
All right, so next we'll go to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. A second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. So next we go to finance report, Meryl.
All right, good evening. Just a few things, the little property sales tax for January, February. $1,100 under project and project work is doggy food supply. And capital project, I think one of the most important ones is Highland Avenue drainage improvement. The $17,000 is the first of two payments to IPW. The $8,200 for Highwood Circle is Antac. And under project, under hospitality, the James Allen Arts and Cultural Center, that's final payment, $12,500 for operations.
Anyone have any questions for the finance? Thank you so much. All right, so let's go to the town administrator report.
So this has been an exciting first week. We'll have the town starting on Monday. I appreciate the warm welcome that I've had from all of the staff and all the other folks around town that I've met on this week. Over the next couple of weeks, I do plan to spend a good bit of time shadowing other town staff, just to become very familiar with how the processes and procedures are work through on a day-to-day basis. Also understanding the current past and future issues that the town is facing. Also this week, I attended the municipal leaders group of the Charleston County Affordable Housing Initiative, where they held a discussion about the study and analysis of affordable housing needs throughout the county. So that will be an exciting project to be part of. The final intent is to provide tools and resources that are tailored to meet the different needs of different geographic areas around the county. And so I will continue to report on those findings. On other news, Charleston County Facilities, they did deny the initial submittal request that the town put in for solar panels on the James Island Arts and Cultural Center. We are going to work with the facilities department to provide some more details about what this would entail on the actual building itself. So we're going to come to a conclusion with that pretty quickly. Let's see. The town's application to the South Carolina Office of Resiliency for the master plan for the James Island Creek Basin was accepted. The state will be funding a complete stormwater study of our first priority basin. Septic inspections in the James Island Creek have already begun with the first set already completed. Charleston County Transportation received bids for the Camp Berlin sidewalk project, but the low bid came in more than the available funding. So the approved federal funding will expire in Charleston County. So that portion of the funding will expire. So the Transportation Department has asked the town and the city of Charleston to provide up to $100,000 each to match for this $1.2 million project. And then the last item to report on is the town's longtime janitorial service, Zeb's, went out of business last month, unfortunately. So janitorial services are currently being obtained on a month-to-month basis. But staff is looking at proposals for a long-term contract to prevent technical at a later time. But those estimates are coming much higher than the previous contract.
Any questions?
Yeah. I have a question. Thanks. Alder Energy, are they going to be able to perhaps shuffle and begin with solar panel installation on Town Hall?
Yes, that is still moving forward. It was just the facilities department had some issue with how they would attach to the building. I really just wanted some more detail. So we're still on track with Town Hall getting the solar panels, which is the Arts and Cultural Center.
All right, any idea when that might start?
I'm not positive, but I can say that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none. Let's go to the public works.
Good evening. This is the report from March. There were 3 new requests for service in March, none were drainage related, and staff responded to all the requests. We held our monthly meeting with stormwater managers, and we presented the town's pet waste station program to the Municipal Association in Columbia for consideration of an achievement award. Unfortunately, the city of Aiken I don't know what your thing was, but I'm going to resubmit next year. Staff has been monitoring the interns for the tree survey program. Today they started going down Sessionville Road, so they've really accomplished quite a bit. Staff has been coordinating with Alder Energy on solar panel installation and began planning for the Hurricane Expo in May. We have had a 2-year hiatus in this, and we've now heard back from about 20 organizations that we contacted that want to participate. That would be May 7th. Staff met with yet another contractor to discuss the dock at Dodge Street Park and saw a demonstration of the GoGov system for work order management. Staff participated in the statewide tsunami drill, and we got the septic tank inspection services started in problems. We didn't do any sign maintenance, vegetative maintenance, or pothole repair in March due to new staff being trained. And I've been keeping an eye on things, we really haven't had it. So what's happening?
Any questions for,
I don't want to comment. I just wanted to thank you, Mark, privately, thank you for this, publicly, thank you for everybody, for your work, and following up, continuing doing about that sign, and the time before John's part. And you look great, and you seem to be doing a good job, and I would like to hopefully someday we can expand some of the other busy roads, because they only been out a day or two, I know it, but you seem to be doing a good job already. So thank you, you worked on this for 2 years, and we started from A and Tuesday, and thank you. Anyways, you're welcome.
so I know we don't often, but we frequently do road work, on potholes and things. Do we generally move outside the right of way?
No. We're always on the right way.
So we probably would not have been going on anyone's private property to not be illegal speeding.
Not at all.
Did the town direct traffic through someone's yard?
We may have told somebody to go around, but I
Go
just
around,
don't think where the speed hump was, if they were coming to, we may have, I don't recall. Most of the time, we just told people to stop and wait and get out of the way.
All right, any other?
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So with the septic tank inspection, do we have a process that we're going through, or is it just, like, are we starting in one part of? What's our process?
Okay, months ago, we sent out letters to the folks that we identified that have septic tanks. All right, we asked for certain information so that we could start scheduling with septic tank companies. Of the ones that we've gotten back, most of them have been in Clark's Point, but we did get some on Oak Point Drive. So I assigned those first on Oak Point, and we've been going through the ones on Clark's Point.
Oh, because a citizen was asking me, oh, I saw my neighbor got theirs done, but they haven't done mine yet.
Right, it's just, we're in the stack. Things
They are.
and also the scheduling for the septic tank.
And then we are going to have to, so those people who do not respond with the information, with their phone number and contact information, we're going to have to get that information some other way. So someone who did not respond is not currently on the list, but we are going to reach out and try to get more. Because, you know, we're working on the ones we have first, and we have not run out of those.
No, we won't for a while.
Regarding the Clearview, isn't it an SCDOT road? Is that why we don't have like stuff? I can't remember what all road.
Part of it. And that's completely up to them. So,
And then tenant,
at the intersection, clearly, that intersection is for by SCDOT. I believe we asked them for stop signs in there before it was designed.
so it was, I believe, 2019 is when we had the engineering firm come up with these options. And I think our first priority was four-way stops, and they were basically denied. And we put in the numbers speed humps in that neighborhood, and I believe the cost is $100,000 to be spent on traffic control for the neighborhood. And I don't know when were those speed humps actually installed. I think it was
It was still in 2019. It was pre-COVID. The ones that-
So then y'all didn't vote for that. You weren't here when you, yeah, see, it's that back in 2019, November 2019, that's when the election occurred, and so this came before this council. And,
Yeah.
Okay, that was accurate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shouting.
Oh, yes, in here.
Exactly, so we, many people from Clearview came in and, officials, were very, arguing very strongly about, against speed humps and any kind of traffic. But anyway, we, what are we going to address the speed issue on?
Well, Deputy King been out there with his LiDAR, he's got that.
Oh, we'll get that report.
When it comes out, and tomorrow, we'll be putting a counter out there on. Anyway, he's gonna go out there, and I moved out for a week or two, and I moved to a different location for a week or two. Usually get an engineer from the DOT to do it, they look out for 24 hours. I get a lot more of that.
When it was brought to our attention that, speeding here, burst out. And I told, Mark, this is traffic counter out there, to see if speeding was applied, and so we're, pursuing our regular policy for this. The only thing that's unusual about this case is there was an illegal speed hump in the middle of our jurisdiction. And so that's the only thing that's sort of unusual here. We're following our regular policy, and did you share the traffic policy with the concerned citizens?
Not personally, if somebody calls in or emails about that, I send it to them, but I don't recall.
Well, let's be sure to share that.
No, I.
All right, any other questions for, Mark? So the code enforcement report, I guess we have a good report. All right, so we'll go on to the Chamber of Arts and Cultural Center. For that, is there anything else? We got a resolution that we're going.
Yeah, they're gonna have their jury art exhibition reception April 28th from 6 to 8. And their exhibition is gonna run from April 28th to May 19th. So this ought to be quite a show because it's gonna be a lot of our local artists as well as student artists as well. I would encourage everyone to the Big Time Arts and Culture Center, which will.
All right, so let's go to the Iowa Sheriff's patrol report. James?
Good evening. Just so you know, it's been kind of a busy month, and as we expected, it warms up, especially school and everything. So we'll try to pick up some time in the night. Of course, we see a lot of criminal activity. We'll tell you, 4/8 on April 8th, around 1112 Seaside Lane, we had a black Howell induction hood piece that was taken by 5 black males and 1 white male. We do have a suspect on that. We also had a disturbance at 740 Folly Road with Bojangles, where he was asked to wait for his order in the drive-through. Again, personally making aggressive gestures, trying to enter a restaurant, and that gentleman was dealt with and written a citation. We also recovered a firearm block was recovered that was reported stolen from 761 Cutter. It's located by Goose Creek Police on April 8th. We had a vehicle pursuit on April 19th, where we actually got a chase with a vehicle that was stolen. And the vehicle ended up crashing into the marsh, and he was charged with failed start with blue lights and improper vehicle license. He actually said he bought the fake tag on Amazon. The vehicle license plates there now. Camp Road, we had a weapons violation. We had juveniles 11 years of age, brought multiple knives to school. He was charged accordingly. We had a vandalism on Turkey Pin Road where we have the suspect identified as retaliation for previous incident. We had a shoplifting right here at Dollar General, 1238 Camp Road on April 6th, in which an adult and a juvenile stole merchandise and fled toward the Prius, and that vehicle was located, and both of them were cited and charged accordingly. We had 1264 Fort Johnson Road between March 3rd and March 18th. Around $300 worth of plywood shingles were taken. We also had an arrest where a Christopher Harris was charged with taking goods by false pretenses, receiving stolen goods. Regarding incident on Harborview Road. We have a stolen tag end of March on Pauline Avenue. And we have not located that vehicle tag as of yesterday. We also had some subjects that were going around White House Plantation opening mailboxes, but nothing was taken from the mailboxes. And then on March 30th, we had an assault where some people were reported being shot with 4 bead balls while walking home. This is something that's kind of going on around the schools. They're almost like city mission rounds, but they're like these little soft little pellets. And so they're shooting people with these things while they're riding around bicycles. We located 4 suspects, and they were all given custodial promises through their parents. So to the speeding, I've been working over here for over 20 years, and Clearview is definitely not a problem with speeding. I've sat over there many times in my unmarked vehicles, unmarked truck, unmarked Durango. Tonight I sat over there and actually got on radar. Tonight I got let's see, 41 cars. The high speed average 36. And actually, the lady come up to me and
High speed average?
no, sir. The high speed I had was 36. The average was 25.07. I got there at 6 o'clock at night. I was there at 6:45. And that lady come up, and of course I had her attempted to guess the speeds of what she thought they were, and she was about 5 miles an hour off in that 25. And I'm in an unmarked Dodge Durango. You can't tell that it's a police car. And someone sat there today in a marked police car, Clearview near Edmonds between 2:45 and 3:30, and they got 53 cars and an average of 24.75 miles an hour. Deputy King sat with a marked vehicle on Tennant back on March 29th, and he got 20 cars, and his highest speed was 24, an average of 18.4 miles per hour. And his Clearview was an average of 32 cars, 22.84 miles per hour. On April 7th, he got on Tennant. He had 11 cars, average 24.09. His high speed wasn't 30. He did have a 36 over there. And he had 23 cars on Clearview, 23.82 miles per hour. So what I'd like to do is try to find out. Now, I didn't get your address where you said you were staying at.
Here, I'll give you my card.
Okay. What I'd like to do is, of course, we'll put out I don't know if we have a stealth stat. If not, we have a stealth stat with the county, and we have one here that's very similar. So we can put out one on Clearview, one on Tennant. We'll get a better overall average of course, time of day, what the high speed is, things like that, everything. So that I'd like to find out kind of more of a time data, what kind of data is being collected. But at the same time, if we put something out there for 7 days, that will give us an overall, is it Monday morning driving a problem with it? Is it Saturday nights that we're having a problem? And what the fastest vehicles are, and give us a whole lot better of a big picture.
Any questions for Lieutenant James? Okay, thank you very much for all you. So we now, I believe we covered our nation reports, and so we'll go to our request for approval by staff. And so the first request is drainage box repair. Mark, do you want to speak to that?
Yes. You may have noticed on the other side of the street, there's some orange barricades around. Yeah, there's a inlet there that has developed a hole in the side of it, and it has been sucking on material and created a sinkhole. County prepared to fix that for us.
So is our motion approved? Second. Any discussion for the questions? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. So, next we have a change order to add variable fan drive to the HVAC unit at JIACC. Mark, explain.
Yes, this was identified as the next step months ago when mechanical engineers and the HVAC people were over there. The problem is humidity, and the system just isn't taking care of the humidity like it needs to. And with artwork, it has to be spot on. This particular variable fan will allow the system to function more efficiently and be able to take care of the humidity. And it's what the engineers were. We did major work on this, I think,
Brand,
yeah.
we just put it in and it's just the air conditioning unit is not, and the design is not maintaining, keeping the humidity down. And so this is a extra requirement with, ideally would have been it's installed initially, but we tested it out to see how it worked. And it did not work sufficiently, so this is the fix to basically part of completing the project. Meryl, do we have money in the budget for completing the project?
We did.
So we did not spend all the money for the improvements and repairs of the building, and this is, that's one, this we should still. Yes,
So is it, gonna be okay with the county for us to do this repair on their building?
Yeah,
So
This is all part of it.
they will allow us to do this?
this was part of the initial, yes.
Right, okay.
well, I think we should see if there's a motion to approve. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Also,
And so we discuss, so that's further question. And yes, that is a concern about what the county will.
right, but they're aware of it, right? That we're doing
Yeah,
it.
they know we're doing some HVAC work, yeah.
Right. I don't want to violate our lease or.
Any further discussion? If none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So that passes. All right, so now we'll go to an action item from Councilman Monax. Request staff to look into permanent signage similar to JIC signage, advertise upcoming events at the James Island Arts and Cultural Center, and purchase a basic copy machine for JIACC. And so I think that's a motion in favor. Is there a second?
Second.
And please speak to
Yeah, I
that.
need to say, thank you. At the last neighborhood council meeting that we had there at the Cultural Center, the idea came up that, one of our members of the neighborhood council was concerned that with the events that we're having, that people have to actually look on our Facebook page or basically search for it. This is a way that the casual person going by could see it and discern about it. And I've got an idea, kind of similar to what TFG does with their sign, follow it. It could be just a basic sign on the road, where we just, put links down by however they do it there. Or, I'm not really into, lit or anything like that, I'm just kind of looking at something basic. Just to let people know, because Kent Road is one, I would say, it's one of the three major ways you promote neighborhoods to get to Bobby Road, and all points, west. They basically would have to go by that sign and they can see. So we're having more people aware of the events that are going. So that is, again, this is something that's brought up in the neighborhood council, and I've always been out here. I thought I would relay that and have staff look into it and look at the feasibility of that. And then the copy machine, I guess, the library, there was a copy machine there, it was pretty popular. So I'm just looking at something basic, nothing fancy. Just looking at that, see what's the ramifications of that and all the expense that will be, terrible. So that's kind of what I was, just having staff look into it.
Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile to look into, and I think it's a good idea. I think the placement of the sign is probably a major consideration because we want to cast a wide net on the population. And just thinking off the top of my head, maybe making a deal with cornucopia on the corner of Hill's Club and might be an ideal location for such a sign, because then you've got two major thoroughfares right there.
Yeah, we just have so many events going on, we just want to make sure it's casual, so more. That's just somebody who would say, I want to see what's going on with the cultural center at school. I just want to know, because most people won't do that. So we just want more and more people to be able to see it.
Any other discussion? So if this passes, find out information and develop options, in all likelihood, the expense of this would be such that we have to come back to council for approval of a sign with a cottage. But we'll find out about it. It happens, and yes,
For the coffee machine, we have my office, who's a brother, manufactured 2700 series. It's a wall. Relatively inexpensive, and easy to find ones.
right.
It's a low budget.
And even something like that will increase casual foot traffic. It's kind of a win-win.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passed. All right, so next we'll go to committee reports, Lands Committee, Councilman Big Al.
I have no report.
Environmental Beautification Committee, Councilman.
Yes, I have a report. James Island Pride hosted a wide litter pickup on April 9th. And 12 volunteers were able to remove 24 bags of litter from our island roadways. For those of you that would like to join us, our next litter pickup will be June 11th. So put it on your calendars and plan to help out. That's June 11th, 6/11 on your calendar. We meet here at Town Hall at 9 a.m. We pick up trash for 2 hours and then we feed you all pizza. So it's a pretty good deal, all right? Helping Hands is still looking for volunteer groups or individuals to help with yard work for our citizens who are unable to do it themselves. You may contact Stan Kozakowski at 860-847-0544 for information. Stan's number again is 860-847-0544. And that's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. No report from Shores Committee, Public Safety Committee, Councilman Lawrence.
Our meeting will be next Thursday, which is April 28th, from 6 to 8 p.m. Earlier, this would be at the Arts Expo. So here, so anyways, just wanted to know that.
So the History Council has continued to meet and is working on the proposal for a history trail. I expect that there will be a proposal for a planting of the cave arbors, the booklet that they are finally letting out and quite popular. And then we had the first shot event. And there was a small turnout, about 13, but for our first shot. And I think next time, maybe Palm Sunday, something. Yes. To organize it, though, that is Sunday for the date of the first shot. It won't be exactly that time next week. Rethink Folly Road meets next Wednesday at 3:30. Next, we have a drainage committee.
Nothing really for this one, just that we have 14 weeks of number 7, but when I find out, so days on that already.
Okay, thank you. Business Development Committee. Tree Advisory Committee, Councilman Jones.
tree advisory council met on April 12th. We had a very abbreviated meeting because we lost our sound, which everybody was thankful for, I think. The council's working on recommended large tree lists, as well as a tree seedling distribution program. We're also making plans for the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day celebration. It's going to coincide with South Carolina Arbor Day on the first Friday in December. So mark your calendars for that.
Any questions? Okay. Next, James Island Governmental Council will be meeting next Wednesday. So that would be the 27th at 7 o'clock here. And it's election of officers. Right, next we have proclamations and resolutions, and we have proclamation, the Yom HaShoah Holocaust commemoration. Would the representative like to read the proclamation, or?
You have it, right?
Yes.
I can read it if you want me to.
If you like, that would be great.
Normally you read it, so I'll take this as an honor. I'm Eileen Turbo, and I represent the Charleston Jewish Federation, Holocaust Education and Genocide Committee. The 2022 Yom HaShoah Holocaust Commemoration Proclamation. Whereas the Holocaust was the state-sponsored systematic persecution and annihilation of European Jewry by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945. And whereas we remember with sadness the 11 million people, including 6 million Jews, who were victims of Hitler's final solution, along with those who were persecuted for their religious and political beliefs, sexual orientation, physical disability. And whereas we remember with admiration the resistors and rescuers, known and unknown, who risked and lost their lives to save others. And whereas we remember with respect the survivors who escaped, were sheltered, or who were freed, and who lived to contribute so much to our community and to our world. And whereas the history of the Holocaust offers an opportunity to reflect on the moral responsibility of individual societies and governments. And whereas we have an obligation to ensure that the memory and legacy of lives lost or forever changed in this horrific event are never forgotten. Whereas we remember and honor the liberators which liberated the World War II concentration camp 77 years ago. Therefore, be it resolved that we pledge today to firmly commit ourselves to never again and to work to promote human dignity by confronting intolerance and hate wherever and whenever it occurs. Now, on behalf of Mayor Bill Wilkley, Mayor of the town of James Island, and members of the town council, pursuant to an act of Congress and the United States Holocaust Memorial Council, to proclaim the week of Sunday, April 4th until Sunday, April 11th, the week of remembrance of the victims, survivors, rescuers, and liberators of the Holocaust. And further proclaim that we as citizens of James Island, South Carolina, should promote human dignity and confront hate whenever and wherever it occurs. The Charleston Jewish Federation encourages you to enjoin the greater community as we remember and honor the victims, our Holocaust survivors and liberators, during the community-wide Yom HaShoah Holocaust Remembrance Program, which will be held at the downtown Holocaust Memorial in Marion Square on Sunday, May 1st, starting at 2 p.m. This year's theme is turning memory into strength and will display the importance of action through generational remembrance. Charleston's annual commemoration of the Holocaust is sponsored by the Charleston Jewish Federation, and it includes the reading of names of people who perished with family connections to Charleston. And I believe you have in front of you information about
the Holocaust Memorial and the Yom Kippur event.
Thank
So
you,
thank you.
thank you so much, and, to repeat, we hereby do proclaim the week Sunday, April 4th, until Sunday, April 11th, the week of remembrance in memory of the victims, survivors, rescuers, and liberators of the Holocaust. And further proclaim that we as citizens of James Island, South Carolina, should promote human dignity and confront hate whenever and wherever it occurs. So that's a motion. Favors a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And I did want to let y'all know to introduce Deanie Atkins, who you may have met before, and Deanie is a survivor. You can see that she is today in blue and yellow because we feel that what's happening in the Ukraine is just a reminder that we can never be too diligent in looking out for hate and not allowing it and not intolerant.
Thank you so much for coming again.
We can't. So we'll just show you the yellow candle that is a Yorkite candle that is symbolic of remembering. And in Jewish tradition, on the anniversary of someone's death, you light candles. This one is yellow because Jews were forced to wear yellow stars. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next, we have a proclamation for Fair Housing Month. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. The second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Let's go to National Public Works Week. Is there a motion to recognize National Public Works Week? Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Okay, next we're going to go to resolution 2022-05. This is support for fiscal year CPC 2023.
Yeah.
For Regatta Road sidewalk. So this would be council approving a request that CPC fund the Regatta Road sidewalk project, construction for the sidewalk project.
Yes.
So is there a motion to approve?
So
Is there a second? Okay, second. Any discussion? None, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. And this would involve a match in town fund. All right, next, this is resolution 2022-06. This is a resolution to provide matching funds for the Camp Road sidewalk and Woodrow Drive shared use. And so, town administrator reported on this in her report. And so, this is a project that actually the town initiated when I was 6 or maybe 7 years ago. And but the county took it over and it got federal funds. And it, currently the project is in sidewalks from the camp and Father down along the camp to Riverland and then up River to the senior center. And that would be a shared use path along Riverland. And the bids came out, and the bids came up basically 200,000 more than the estimate. And so we're talking about a $1.2 million project that is, $200,000 is a good bid. And while the county is seeking other federal funds to the top, there's no guarantee that that will appear. And so they asked that the county and city each commit up to $100,000 as a match. And usually when we propose sidewalk projects, we start off with match. But in this particular case, there was no, we didn't have that match. We did, but it's not. And I just want to tell council, we should see this coming, in our budget. We have various estimates for various projects we're going to work on in the next year. And I am very concerned that those estimates are going to not be low. So, overall, we've had 8% consumer inflation last year. And I believe the inflation for public works projects is going to be worse when the federal government is going to hang on.
Maybe when it takes 7 years to get a project completed, there's gonna be some fluctuations in prices. So I don't think this is any fault of the town's budgeting process at all. I think it's just something that was perhaps inevitable given the amount of time.
So any, is there a motion? The second, okay, any discussion?
I was real happy to see that the city is going to match funds with this project. I think that's a real positive step in the right direction.
That is, the city has been asked to, and our resolution will be conditional on the city matching. And if other funds, other funds would be available to cover part of this cost, it's the remainder will be split between the city and the town, so we would be up to $100,000. And it's really, if, in the worst case, if no other funds can be found to make up the shortfall, then we would pay $100,000, the city would pay $100,000, $200,000. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. All right, so now we have resolution 2022-07, designating an annual James Island Arts and Cultural Center during art exhibition, observation, and celebration. Would you ask to put this on council?
Yes, I did. I'm not gonna read the whole resolution, but I do want to read the part that's important, and that is that the town of James Island hereby designates April 28th to May 19th as observance of the James Island Arts Exhibition, and urges all citizens to celebrate and promote the arts and culture of James Island, and hereby encourage our citizens to recognize the contributions of our local artists and our James Island fine arts teachers to the success of our community as a whole. If you can get by and see fine art at the James Island Arts and Culture Center, which is at the old James Island Library.
All right, it says that I think that's motion. Favors or second? Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. Next, we have resolution 2022-08, naming town hall municipal office building for Ashley Callahan. Is there a motion to approve? Second. Any discussion?
Yes, I would
Would
like
like
to
to
read,
speak to that?
I would like to read this resolution.
Yes,
Because I think it's important, not only to council, the mayor, but also to staff. This is a resolution naming town hall municipal office building for Ashley Callahan. Whereas Ashley Callahan was appointed by James Island Town Council to serve as town administrator in 2013 and served through February 2022. And whereas she performed her town administrator duties in an exemplary, fair, and professional manner in all aspects of the job, including technical, supervisory, service, and community interaction. And whereas Ashley Callahan had a central role in the execution and directed initiatives and was an excellent intermediary between town staff, town council, and the mayor. And whereas she provided exemplary leadership in developing and implementing many initiatives for the town that greatly enhanced our island community. And whereas she was and is beloved by town staff and greatly appreciated by town council and mayor. And whereas she served as the primary contact for coordinating ideas from town staff, town council, and the community in developing and realizing their collective vision for James Island Town Hall, the James Island Arts and Culture Center, Picnic Park, and Brantley Park. And whereas she is widely recognized to be a great asset to our community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of James Island, South Carolina dedicates the Ashley Callahan Municipal Office Building at the James Island Town Hall in her honor and extends special thanks and appreciation for her immeasurable contributions, service, and leadership to the town of James Island, and congratulate her on this recognition that will endure for generations to come.
All right, is any further discussion? I think it's well deserved, and Ashley, I don't think we shared her email that she sent us. That she asked to put in the record, which she was. And so in short, as you might not be too surprised, she does not believe she truly deserves this honor. And but she does say that she's realized that she just has to give it and honor her in this way, and that she greatly thanks us for providing this honor and for letting her serve. And so we'll share that with you all later and put it in a record as she asked. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So that passes. All right, so next we go to resolution 2022-09, authorizing the exercise of eminent domain to acquire title or interest in real property for the Ocean View Stone Coast Drainage Improvement Project. Mark, this one.
This is the final easement that we need for this project. It's actually, you shall see from your documentation here, this is the Royal track. This is an undeveloped track that we have behind the city fire station over here in our jurisdiction. And the Royal family has been difficult in these negotiations, wanting us to change the plan several times. We've already got permitting now for this. We cannot, without great expense and more time, change anything else, and there's no guarantee they won't want us to change it again. So therefore, we decided to go ahead with nation and move forward with the project, which will greatly enhance the drainage in that entire area.
There's a motion to approve. So I make a motion to approve, is there a second?
Second, for discussion, Mark, there's 3 drawings here. Are all 3 of these condemnations? I was trying to get a feel for which one was actually the one we would consider.
It's all owned by the Royals, considered one track.
So that property is divided into multiple lots, and so these are the separate lots.
Okay, all right, yeah, that was my question, because I wasn't sure.
And so the down payment, negotiation, speaking with easement for some time.
And I will say road property owners have been there.
Okay, yeah, that was my question.
All right, any further discussion as council?
For, the second lot, that's also this, the present same there is a different one.
That's a different homeowner who's already given us this easement.
Okay, and then double,
They too have agreed. They're very anxious for this project to go on.
and what's this gonna look, or is it gonna be open drainage, or is it like a 3 foot? I know you-
It's an open ditch and there's room for a maintenance shelf as we usually do.
Okay,
And there's even areas there so that the remaining parts of the Royal track will not flood and become wetlands again. They will be able to drain into this system.
okay,
The purpose of this project is to basically fix the drainage Ocean View Drive. And so, for no particular good reason, the drainage ditches in Ocean View Drive just sort of dissipating on the private property. So we worked on the project. And the property owners agreed to provide easements. And then, there is a whole set of several lots that have a single owner who lives in Utah. And we've been in negotiation with that person. And as you know, there's this land, and in my opinion, he's constantly changing plans so that we will basically more of the work for this proposed housing development. Well, actually, it's not. It's not that all. Each one's striking out, and it's. And I think it's time to move forward. Anyway, any other discussion? All right, well, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. Okay, so now we have the ordinance, first reading for the budget. Is there a motion to approve? The second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So that passes. So now we go to ordinance for second reading, this is ordinance 2022-01. This is the ordinance for zoning, all restrictions on beekeeping in residential areas. Is there a motion to approve? Second, any discussion? So then I'll speak against the, I agree with this is a mistake that reasonable regulation appropriate for beekeeping in a residential area. All right, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so I vote against, and so that passes. All right, so next, are there any items for new business?
I thought the clear book was on new business on the agenda online.
So I would just like to remind all members of the council deadline to add this on, which is the Thursday before the meeting. And so we cannot add things to the agenda the day before. However, of course, we can add things to the agenda right this minute. And so if any member of council would like to move to add new traffic to the agenda tonight.
I will.
So Councilwoman Madonna moves to add that to a second.
Second.
And so next we will vote to add the agenda, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so that passes.
So I've been contacted by several members of Clearview regarding the traffic, and I wanted to bring it to this meeting so that we can access and see what needs to be done. Review the old traffic studies that we've done, and it sounds like we're getting new traffic studies to get updated information, so then we can move forward from there once we get the information from those studies.
All right, any other discussion?
I would like to say thank you to the Sheriff's Patrol for getting on it before we even had this meeting. I know that they, noticed you didn't say what color that Durango was. I was gonna ask you while you're up here. So just story to Greg, for you, it's a story to Greg. I'll be behind you before you figure it out. Thank y'all for getting on it, and to piggyback what the mayor brought up earlier, I think it was our first meeting with this council when we addressed Lighthouse Point, other traffic stuff, and we got real heated, and so I would encourage everybody, I think we made some rules about how meetings were gonna happen after that, because we got so heated, so I would remind everybody, just, it's hard to believe you're being heard when it doesn't feel like it's happening fast enough, and it's just a process, but in the short time I've been here, I've seen the process work for people in the past, and so, again, I appreciate everyone getting on as quickly as they did, and it'll get taken care of. It won't happen as fast as you want it to, but that's government for you, right? So, thanks everybody for your attention, patience.
Any other?
Am I allowed to speak on that?
Sorry. then.
Sorry, I was
No, no.
late.
Anyway, any other? Okay, so we'll go on to announcements and closing comments. And so announcements and closing comments.
I already made some comments. Thanks everyone for being here.
Yes, I want to say welcome to Nikki. I'm glad you're here. Really, this whole thing moved again. That's wonderful. And thank you for everyone who showed up to express their concerns. We know that we definitely heard you, and we're working on getting this addressed. Thank you all the staff for all their hard work. We most certainly appreciate it. Sorry, James. And Lucy and James, sorry.
You can demote me, I'll stick it there.
And congratulations and welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us today. So good luck, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yes, I just want to again thank staff for all of their hard work, and it was a very difficult period. We're so glad you're here, Nikki, because we were really in trouble without an administrator. So it's great to have you here. thanks again to staff for picking up the extra weight in the absence of administration. We really appreciate all that you did to keep the town afloat.
Oh, just one bit on what Brother said, and welcome, and thank you for being here. And the last month's meeting, and Francis this morning had being here, she had double duty, in the hour late. More than she usually has, which is a lot to begin with. And I also want to thank everyone for being here tonight, and especially the citizens of Riverview, for very legitimate concern. Learned a lot from listening to all of you tonight. Thank you. But again, that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. So, yes, well, thank you. Nikki has hit the ground running. We have many projects that are ongoing that she has jumped right in. And her connections at the county were already very helpful with the issue of the soil. Very helpful. And also, as you all mentioned, all the staff, thank you for putting up with me as I tried to, town administrator and all smooth things out, and I think we're going better and better things, and so, thank you. All right, anything else?
Mayor,
Yes.
I'm just gonna, it's unconventional, but I just want to thank you. Also, mother, a month ago today, and I just want to thank the town and the staff for the love and support, because it really means a lot. And I've been part of the town for well over a decade, and I really heartfelt appreciate everything from the flowers that were sent, just that y'all being there for me. So I really appreciate that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it.
All right, for the business.
And that made it all sad. Made it depressing now. We got race. Just come. You know, so you look like a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can stand right here. Okay. Are you walking up?
I got her to still
Hey, Mark.
So it's not the same thing that you got.
Okay, sort of like a mobile radio station.